Welcome to our first chaotic episode of Design to Connect. Here, we will try to connect and rethink architecture so we can do better in the future.
I'm your co-host, Areezo.
And I'm your co-host, Hadil. Let's dive in.
So here we are. Hi, Hadil.
Here we are. Hi, Areezo. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Milan. It's sunny. It's not yet too cold, so I'm still happy. What about you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, hello, turtleneck. So I think that explains. But yeah, it's amazing to connect with you all the way from Toronto.
So happy that we are talking. And we are finally recording our episode 0 after how many weeks of planning? Not too much, but it's still a lot of planning.
I know it's amazing, the power of connection, what it can do to bring two like-minded people together. So I'm very happy to be here chatting with you.
Yeah, same here. Maybe we should talk about how we first connected and why.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like me and Hadil, I go first. I always kind of complain in LinkedIn about how architecture is going and how I would love to work on social impact jobs or social architecture, humanitarian architecture. And I think one of my LinkedIn posts, Hadil saw it and she messaged me, right? And you take it from here.
Wow, it's gonna be so hard to summarize what I have to say the same way you did, but I'll try. I think I was going through the space of questioning, a lot of things that are happening around me, and maybe one day we will get into that on a different episode. But long story short is that something about the post that you wrote triggered me, but in a very good way. And I felt the need to talk to people that were thinking and talking the same way that I did. And you were so nice to, we hit it off right away. Started by just a simple message on LinkedIn. It turned into a Zoom call, and the Zoom call turned into exchanging numbers. And we started FaceTiming, and you provided a lot of support through the journey that I was going through. And it was really interesting because you were doing your own thing while I was doing and planning my own thing. And then when we started talking together about it, it's like, hey, we're thinking the exact same thing. So why not join us together? And it will have a better impact. And yeah, that's how me and Areezo connected. Someone living in Milano, 6 hours ahead of I am, and I'm in Toronto. And here we are chatting together, hoping we will be able to connect with you as well.
Exactly. Here we are starting a podcast.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God.
Not feeling very confident with it, but starting it at least. So maybe we can share a little bit about ourselves, like who we are, where we come from, why architecture, why social architecture, and all of that. Do you want to go first?
I think it's better you do. Just so I see how much you're summarizing your story, so I can do the same thing.
Okay. So I should collect my mind right now. Okay, so I'm Areezo. I'm from Iran, originated from Iran, Shiraz, a city in south west of Iran. I got out of Iran when I was 18. I went to Cyprus. I did my bachelor's degree there. After that, I moved to Milan to study for my master's in Politecnico di Milano. I finished my studies. I really liked architecture. Let's say, okay, I should say this. I'm not one of those people that, like, from the time that they were born, they knew that they wanted to be an architect. I chose architecture like maybe, I don't know, 2 months before starting university. I had to choose something. But then I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I became good at it. And everything was going good. My life was good till I started working. And I saw, I don't know, a very big contradiction from the values that I learned maybe during when I was studying, and then what was in the working environment, and I couldn't really face this contradiction. Yeah, maybe later we will go through all the contradictions like in the other episodes, but
ongoing list.
exactly. Long story short, I resigned from my job last year, and yeah, exactly last year today I saw it in my Google.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a special day today. And yeah, since then I'm trying to find my way in architecture, to like keep my love for architecture, but in the same time do it in the way that makes sense to me. Yeah, so many things wasn't making sense to me in the professional life of architects, and yeah, so we will go into the details of that later, but yeah, let's say that's my story.
You made it challenging for me right now. Because I've been.
You give me confidence. I should talk more.
I knew this question was coming, and I tried not to like prepare for it, so it really comes from the heart and it comes natural. But I just feel that there's a lot of layers in my head that I feel that I need to speak of, just so I can create a better understanding of how I, like every step of your life, no matter how hard it is, it's gonna lead you to something better. And because the way that I found myself was through connecting with people and learning from their experiences. Even though I am such a person that don't really like to share their personal experiences, it just gave me a push to do so because I realized how much it can help. Anyways, let's get back to who I am, really, because I don't even know who I am, to be honest. I think I'm going through that phase of self-discovery. But I am someone that was born in Lebanon. And I think I was lucky enough to be raised in a family that taught us the value of social care and like caring about others at such a young age. So that I think that that personality and that drive for me to always help the community and this like the people around me was developed at such an early age. And I think, unlike you, I think this was one of the reasons why I chose to do architecture, because I saw architecture as a tool or a social engine to change some of our social and cultural norms, or to do better to humanity. And through my journey in healing, and I've traveled around a lot. I've lived in different cities. I did my education in Lebanon, and I think I was lucky enough that I was able to get a job in Canada to come here. Okay, pause. I think I'm dragging it so much.
No, it's great.
I'm not sure I want to say that though.
Okay, don't worry. I can cut it out, or we can keep it also like that.
Sure. Whatever. Okay. But the story behind it is that, honestly, like, ever since I graduated, and my dream was really to work with the United Nations. It's not a dream anymore, because my love to the United Nations and my perspective about this organization changed. I like the thoughts that I had growing up are different right now, just because I have a better understanding of the reality of this world. So I also tried to work with like nonprofit organizations to do social architecture, because I didn't really want to get into the corporate side of it. But it's very unfortunate because I had the reasons, and I had different responsibilities that I had to think about, that I needed to think more on the financial aspect, and that's why I decided to come back to Canada and I got lucky to get a job here. And I think this is where it shook me, and it was like it was really hard for me to deal with it, because for someone that's, that had a specific vision of what architecture can do and what you're capable of doing to help and creating some empathy in the world that we're living, um, was really hard to be faced with the harsh reality. and and as and yes, I do accept the reality that we're living in, but I just feel that I am trying to leverage on that reality and do something better, and connecting with people like you and connecting with like-minded people for us to be able to come up with better ideas on how we can shift architecture to really create spaces that connect people, because the world is in much need of a cuddle right now.
Thank you for staying with us till this moment. You are listening to Design to Connect. Connect with us and let us know more about yourself. And one more thing, if you've been sitting so long designing in front of your computer, get up, move your body a bit.
Yeah, that's so true. And I think we being from East and coming to West, I think this like difference of cultures that you feel, it makes you much more aware of how much it is needed for taking a step, because you come from a reality and you come to another reality that doesn't have any idea of how the other reality is living, and how the culture is. And uh, for me, yeah, the humanity, like at the core, is all the same, but still there are so many differences. And I think seeing both cultures makes you like actually reflect, and because you can see it from a different lens, you can see how the cities are made, how people care, I don't know, even like seeing a homeless person in the street, and how they act towards it, like how this empathy is built in the cities or is not.
100%.
Yeah, and I think that also gives us this opportunity, yeah, to see the cities here from a different lens, and maybe sometimes critique it, sometimes learn from it. And yeah,
I think it's essential to critique things. That no one is better than anyone. Everybody has a different perspective and an eye for what's good and what's bad. But I think there should be a foundation that's based on, is this causing any harm to any person? Those are the foundations that we need to start assessing with. And it's exactly like you said. I think because we come from a different reality than the Western world, I think we had a better understanding to also understand that, even like for example, I speak to myself. I live in Toronto, and I realize that within Toronto there are like multiple different realities, and every reality is so unaware of one another, and they're not understanding that how we can be creating harm for one another, towards one another. And I think one of the things that gave me this drive is through therapy, actually, because you therapy made me understand that whatever solution you come up with at the moment is not going to be sustainable, because you're just adding a patch to a broken or a crack that's already there. What you need to do is dig deeper and understand the problem from its foundation and from its roots, to start either creating a shift or a change, or just raise awareness so people can empathize more and have a better understanding. We can't just look at homeless people and be like, oh, it's their problem because the government is giving them support and it's providing them with shelters, so it's their fault that they're on the streets. That's like, this is wrong for us to say that, because we really don't know the underlying problem that's there for us to be giving comments like that. Anyways, how did we get there?
I think it was my fault, but I think that's why we need to connect with each other, like, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's why we need Design to Connect. to connect with other designers from all over the world, architects, and whoever basically wants to have a positive impact both on the environment and on the social life of people. So we need to connect, because by connection we can like improve our perspective, like to gain more perspective on things, and we can empathize more, because me and you, we might have similar backgrounds, so we can understand each other better. And we might talk to a person from another country, from another background, and our perspective might completely change. We learn by connecting, right? By
100%
to the other people. So that's one of the reasons that we decided to create design to connect. And
can I add something to what you said? Because I don't think it's only important for us to connect with designers and architects. I think it's important for us to be connecting with people from different professions as well, because we need, again, it's the power of connection. Once you connect the different type of education people have, you will have a better understanding of the situation. So we need to have an understanding of the economy, politics, psychology, and so on. So I hope people from diverse backgrounds would connect with us to help us understand the problems that we're facing, even in more depth.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. And what is a better way to understand each other than having conversations, like heart-to-heart conversations that are informal, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Is our second language for both of us. So I'm allowed to make mistakes. It's okay. So the main three keywords, let's say, that we were thinking with Hadil about design to connect was connect, rethink, and do better, because we see this whole process as a process that we connect with each other, we have these conversations, we rethink together, we reflect together, and at the end of the day, after having all these conversations, after learning from each other, we can finally do better, right? Like, even if it's a little bit better, but it's still better, and that counts, I guess.
True. It's like we're trying to rethink this linear mythology that we were taught in school, that there's a, like, you do a concept, and then you start doing the drawings, and then it's like in construction. And I feel that our life is anything but linear. We live in a very uncertainties all the day, all the time. So how come that the ideas that we are coming up with are linear? No, we need to accept the fact that any idea that we come up with, we need to critique it. It might work, it might not work, just like what we're doing right now. People might like it, people might not like it, but that's okay, because we're gonna learn from it, and we're gonna take the lessons learned and make it better. So I hope that those are the keywords that will make us break that linearity that designers in particular are so like their mind is just blocked to work this way.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we want to make this like clear from the beginning. Me and Hadil, we are both kind of young. We are still young, right? I'm 26. How old are you, Hadil? Let's say
I'm turning 30.
Okay, we are young.
Yeah.
And we are doing this podcast, and not saying that we know it all and we want to teach people something. This is actually a journey for us, also to learn better, to know how to do better, learn from our listeners, learn from the people. Okay, I just said what's gonna happen. Anyway, learn from the people that are gonna come to this podcast, and make our perspective wider, hopefully. So Hadil, what to expect from season 1?
Oh, okay. I think our hope is to start conversations and to break the limitations or like the taboos or the topics that we are worried and scared to talk about, and to start to question. I think the if I want to summarize season one in one word, it's questioning. Because right now it's important for us to understand why architecture became a service, a service to a certain type of people. It's not a service for the human as a human being. But that doesn't mean that we don't need architects to work in, like, in creating beautiful innovative buildings and creating residential buildings, but we need to shift the way and how we approach our design strategy. And also to understand, like what's going, like there's you hear a lot about nonprofit organizations, and you hear a lot about social architecture and social enterprises, but I would like, and I'm sure you also would like to know that what's going on with these organizations. What are the things that are going good, and what are the things that are going bad, and why are we not highlighting these things and learning from them to do better? And again, it all goes down, in my perspective, to the fact that those social enterprises and those nonprofit organizations are just patches on cracks. They're not really cracking the main problem. Again, I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense right now, but it will eventually, trust me. And that's part of who I am, by the way. Like sometimes I just say things that are not making sense, but because there's like 1,000 questions that's going in my head right now, and it's like I'm trying to understand it, and plus it can get a little bit hard for me to express myself in English, so you just gotta bear with me. That's all.
No, you were great. You were super clear. I think yeah. That's it. That will be season one, having these conversations and understanding what we can do next. And I will just add one more point to what you have already said, and is that we also realize that there are so many young people, like in our age, that they are trying to enter social design. They want to do humanitarian architecture, like us too, but we don't know where to start, how to survive it. So this podcast will be also it will help us understand better how and where we can start by listening to the people who have already done it, but how we can also take better steps, as Hadil just said, by questioning and by learning from the past. Mm-hmm. So I would say stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
With Design to Connect, and hope to see you soon.
I know, so looking forward to it. And please always also share your any question that you have. Share it with us if you have an idea to what we can post, talk about. We're hoping to open like a blog, so we can like start sharing and the experiences of others and also our perspectives. So we hope to interact with you as much as possible. And if you liked us, follow us.
Yay! Okay. I think I'm going to stop recording.